Listen,
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
we know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Can't get enough baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
There's no human being on the planet that I'd rather be talking to right now than James Wilson. It's a fact. We've talked before, and I think that it was right before you get called up. It was right before you could call. So all the questions I had of you were sort of like, what's it gonna feel like? So what has it felt like? Like, this is a good time. It's a good question, I think, to ask. Like, okay, I don't know if you probably forget that conversation, but that's okay.
No, I remember.
All right, but still, it's like now we can look back and say, I think it's gonna feel this way. So what has felt different? What has felt the same?
It's some what you expect, some a little bit different, some a little less, some a little more. But you come here to a place like this, it's kind of everything you expect it to be right here. So
Dodger Stadium,
yeah,
it's different.
Yeah,
does it?
Pretty cool. Yeah.
What is and that's one of the great things. You get to experience all this different parks. You go to the park that we were sitting in Worcester. You get to see, right? But what is the thing that sort of like for you is the coolest thing, I guess, about becoming a major? Like, I get it. It's cool being a major league. But what's the coolest thing?
I just think the travel. I just think it's special. You get to go to all these big cities. Just get to play in front of all these people in different crowds, different stadiums, and just meet a lot of different people.
Did you know that was? Did you know that was on the radar?
I think you always imagine it, but I just think like every city is a little bit different than what you expect. So it's cool, kind of just getting familiar with all those, and it's cool. Not many people really get to do that.
I'm glad you said that, because like we're just looking at you like, oh man, good for you. You get to play baseball, make money, there's everything else. But people forget, like what are you, 22? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get to see places, right? We had Christian Campbell. Mm-hmm. He's such a good guy, and one of the things he said, he's like, I didn't even know that we get to fly on our own plane. But you could probably relate to some stuff like that. We just assume that you know what's coming. But,
I think it's funny too, because Brady House, he got called up recently, and I feel like he's funny to me because whenever he has a question, like he doesn't even hesitate, like
really?
He doesn't care, like he's just like curious. I feel like, and I just think it's funny, like some of the questions he asks, and
like along those lines of like, wait, we get slippers in a hotel, and
But I just think it's funny because it's like I'm still like pretty new to this, but he's like really new to that, so it's funny to see.
It is funny that you said like I'm new, but he's really new.
Yeah.
What is some of the things that like even that you might not even realize, like since you've been in the major leagues, that like that maybe you didn't know before. And we can get into pitching and hitting and everything else, but like you said, you gotta how you pick up your luggage or
honestly, like it gets dropped off at the room. You don't carry your big suitcase with you. It's just like the little things. I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but like
no, that's okay.
There's just so many like little things that are just different.
I think that, but I'm thankful that you're offering this perspective, because I think it's important. Mm-hmm. Everyone just thinks, hey, you're 22, you get it all figured out. But so in terms of on the field, what has been the thing that maybe you didn't see? You try to prepare your best, they try to prepare you the best. What is the thing that you said, I didn't necessarily know this and I've had to adjust to this?
I just think it's like just whatever it is, whether it's your approach, like whatever your plan is, how you go about your defense, your hitting, base running. I just think you have to fully believe in what you do, and I feel like if you have any doubt up here, like they'll not only the guys on the other team, but you'll eat yourself up, you know. And I just think it's obviously something that comes with time. I think there's ups and downs with everybody, and I think especially early on, like throughout the downs, I was sort of doubting a little bit, but I just think it's something you sort of just got to learn with the struggles.
Did you have to fight the doubts early on? Even like, you have moments, but even like you probably had more struggles than you ever had in your life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to struggle, and I struggled in high school. I struggled in pro ball, and I mean, it's the same here. It's just you're struggling at the highest level, so you're just not really sure at first, you know. So. And
you're struggling, like, by the way, with a third deck. You know, with more people watching you than ever.
Yeah, with 40,000 instead of
This isn't
4,
like normal
000.
struggles, right?
Yeah.
But it comes back to what you said, James, I think, is that you have to really believe in yourself, believe that you know that you can do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just believe that you belong.
I mean, I would imagine your dad, you know, your parent, like, their parents, they want you to do well, but is there the hey, don't worry about it. You'll be okay.
Yeah, I think I got really lucky with them, and like even when I was a kid, like there's never any pressure. They never added any pressure on me, and they just want me to play hard and have fun. So
one of the things I was just talking to Michael Kopak, and he was before your time in terms. A little bit older, but he was a top prospect. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of talk about top prospects. Roman Anthony was just called up. Mm-hmm. He was a top prospect in baseball, and Jackson Holliday a year before. And being a top prospect, being, let's say, a top 10 prospect in baseball, it's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know. And so I'm kind of anxious to get your perspective of it, because you've sort of fought through that. When you get called up, everyone freaks out, including, by the way, the team, right? Mm-hmm. They know it's marketing, social media, and everything.
Yeah.
So what is it like to be like a top prospect? What advice can you give these guys who are called up, who have that label and have to wear that along with figuring things out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's earned to some extent, but I think once you get up here, it kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
Like I mean. It's cool and all that, but it doesn't help you perform on the field. So I mean, I would just say, I mean, it's cool to be thought of, highly regarded in that sense, but it's not going to save you. It's not going to hit for you. I mean, you still got to go out there and earn it every day.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I remember Matt McClain, who was drafted in the first round, had something. He said, when you get in the batter's box, nobody is like looking up the list of where you're on, right? Yeah. I mean, there's probably that element of you can't get up there when you first call up. Hey, everybody, you better watch out.
Yeah,
watch out for me.
Yeah.
But there must be a satisfaction though when you do start doing well, when you do start hitting home runs, when you do start making nice plays. Of the hey, you know what? I am proving myself, you know, and I'm not asking you to brag on yourself, but it's human. But there must be a satisfaction to it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I'll be lying if I didn't say there wasn't like some sort of appreciation or just, I guess appreciation of like sort of what you've been doing and what you're accomplishing. Because I mean, it's not easy. Obviously, like they don't just put anybody on those lists, but it's just temporary, really.
But it's one thing to be on the list, and it's one thing to be on another list.
Yeah.
Right?
Ideally, you want to get off the list.
You want to get off the list, right? You want to get off the list, and you know, you look at to be on the list of top stats, to be on the list on an all-star, or whatever it is. That is, and you know, I'm pretty sure you'll be in Atlanta, but we'll see. But still, we talk about checkpoints, about the accomplishment, the hard work, and everything else. Mm-hmm. That would be probably a pretty cool thing, right? The All-Star thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, something you grow up watching, and it'd just be cool to be a part of it.
Yeah, I don't want to put cart before the horse.
I hear
but so the last thing is sort of, what has been the most fun thing for you about this whole experience? When you were called up? What was the date?
Like July 1st last year.
So
it's
almost
like
a year. Almost a year. So now a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We probably did this interview like exactly a year ago, right?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
So a year. So what has been the coolest thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to point my finger on one thing. I mean, my debut was definitely special. I don't know. I just feel like every day it's like something.
I'm glad,
something
man.
different. Yeah, it's hard to put my finger on one thing. I feel like every day is something you can appreciate here. So
I'm happy for it. Does it seem like a year?
What was that?
Does it seem like a year?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but yes and no.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's listen. I can tell you that. Look at how far you've come, but still, when it goes by probably pretty quick.
Yeah, it does.
But here's the thing. We're sitting here at Dodger Stadium. I want you to soak this in, enjoy it. We won't name the hotel, but it's a very nice hotel,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
I don't know if you get a chance to walk. You've been to LA before, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Real quick, what is the coolest? I said that. What is the coolest thing? What is the coolest thing you've done on the road? Like you began this conversation about like going to cool places.
I just like trying food. Just I don't know. I feel like food kind of takes you around the city. Like I just try and find a good restaurant.
Okay, that's
I
it.
go.
But it's not like you went to the top of a building or anything.
No, I'm not skydiving or any of that right now. So.
All right. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right. There's no human being I'd rather be talking to on the planet than Kyle Finnegan. Fact. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Much appreciate
Did you see? Here's a stupid question. Did you see it coming? Like I know you've had success, but did you see? Sometimes you don't know, right? And especially like when you have sort of a weird off season, and we can get to that. But
yeah,
did you see it coming?
As far as having a good year? Yeah. I mean, I've been, steadily working on a lot of parts of my games, and I've made some improvements this year. Kind of more on the analytics side of a few of my pitches. So I knew I had a good kind of floor that I had built. I knew what I can do. But I also saw some opportunity to get better, and I've noticed a lot of that stuff starting to pay dividends this year. So just trying to build off good outings, and we're almost at the halfway mark, and feeling pretty good about the body of work so far.
Can I geek it out when you bring up the awesome analytics stuff? I mean,
just finding a little more vert on my fastball.
Oh, okay.
So. Typically not been a super high vert guy. I've had pops of the 19s and 20s before, so I knew it was in there, and just trying to find kind of what made it click a little bit for me. So it's been working with the tilt on my fastball, kind of the way I hold it, and just the thought process. And I've added, I think my average vert is up like almost 2 on the year.
Really?
So.
Did that take? So again, this is wonky, but I don't care. If someone goes about looking, say, like, all I want for Christmas is more vertical, right?
Yeah.
And some pitchers actually probably said that, right? So you said there's just a slight difference in the grip or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so,
for me, the Edgertronic camera really helped.
Okay.
So just seeing slow motion, how it was coming off my fingers, and just kind of tinkering from there with TrackMan and everything. And it was kind of the way I was holding the ball. I was favoring, kind of that running fastball. So just the way I held it and finger pressure, just kind of got more of that true 12 o'clock backspin on it. And it was kind of like...
Did that take root is that something when you got here to spring training that you immediately said, this is what I want to do, or did that manifest itself in the off season?
Yeah, I think I was working on it on my own because I was a free agent, and I thought it was something that I needed to do. Just, some of my other, metrics, it was something that I needed to try and improve on was my vert on my fastball, because I knew I had it in me. And then worked on it in the off season, and it kind of clicked right away. And when I signed with the Nats, I let them know what I had been doing, and they were super excited about it, and we worked on it all spring, and it's still a work in progress through the season. I've kind of had good days and bad days as far as the analytics on my fastball go.
That makes
but
a
the
big
floor,
difference,
the floor has been higher.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I know. So it doesn't sound like, because that was the next question I was going to ask, which is when you're going through the off season of free agency, do you say, hey, everybody, look at this, like, and you get out, here's my numbers, or I'm working on this. You might not know. I know that you think you know who I am, but this is what the new me. I don't know if you tell teams that or not.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree. I had enough of a body of work that kind of, had shown teams who I am as a player. But then showing them things that you're working on and maybe sending them some data points that you've done in bullpens. I mean, it helps a little, but I don't think it moves the needle enough for guys to, oh, he's doing this, let's jump on it before, they want to see you go out there and prove it in the game. So,
well, believe me, as someone who has had to talk about AI bots and resumes for the last few days, I'm thinking that's on top of mind.
Yeah.
But so to go to that with the off season and free agency, obviously, especially with relief pitchers, we've talked to plenty where it's a tough thing, man. Because you go in with best intentions. So if you don't mind, take me through, the season ends, you probably sit down with your agent. This is what we think is going to happen. I don't know, maybe this isn't what happened, but how did this play out for you?
Yeah, you create a game plan on, your best case scenario, or you build a whole collection of comps to you, what they've gotten in the past, but it all depends on that year's market, because, every year is different, every offseason is different, every pool of free agents are different every year. So we had a ballpark of what we were hoping to get. And a lot of the early signings were, positive for the reliever market. But I think a lot of teams had a guy in mind that they wanted. They went out and got that guy, and then there was kind of, a slow period. Kind of got seeing where the market would go from there. And
who were the guys? Were there guys that you identified? Like you said, I'm keeping an eye on this guy because I think that maybe whether he's going to be similar to me or he's going to free up this market or whatever. Were guys like that for you?
Yeah, just a lot of the late inning reliever type guys. Guys that had had success a couple previous seasons. So, as those guys started to come off the board, you get a better idea of where you might land. But I leaned on my agent and his expertise. This is my first trip through free agency, so I was like, you're the pro, I'm going to listen to you.
Man.
And
but you can say that, but it's tough, man. It's tough not to keep picking up the call to the agent, say, hey, anything going on?
Yeah, you got to just, you pick your guy for a reason, and you got to trust him. And we were happy with the outcome in the end. It was, I think it proved to be kind of a tougher market for some of the, not the top relievers.
Yeah.
So, but we'll try again.
Was there a time in the off season where it got the most frustrating? I mean, it's okay looking back now, but
I wouldn't say it's frustrating because I had plenty of opportunities and offers from the beginning all the way through.
All right, okay.
So I was never it was never like a no one's calling thing. It was like have a lot of offers, but none of them are standing out too much.
Yeah.
So no, I wasn't. It's hard to be upset when you're deciding between $1 million. It's just I was happy to be. That team's.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. As long as you had offers, a lot of times, I've talked to guys who signed really late, and they were like, they were like you said, it was relievers. It can be. It's good that it worked out for you.
Yeah.
But you probably talked to other guys who didn't work out for
you. It's different for everybody. Like I said, my situation wasn't that nobody was calling. It was that we were just waiting for the right situation.
Yeah.
Something we thought fit well, and the deal was fair, and so I had opportunities the whole time, just kind of waiting for the right one.
And you've landed in a good spot. You're doing well. You love closing. I mean, you love.
Yeah. I mean, I think. If any reliever tells you they don't want to be the closer, they're lying.
It's true, though, right?
I mean, it's fun.
Did you realize that? Did you always realize that?
I mean, my first, 2-3 years in the big leagues is just like you're treading water trying to stay, make a name for yourself, take the ball whenever you can and prove to your manager you can be reliable and stay healthy and just kind of build a foundation. So my first 3 years, I'm not like, oh, I want to be the closer. I'm like, I need to do everything in my power to stay on the team, So it wasn't until I kind of established myself that I was like, I think I could do this, and then here, the opportunity arose pretty quickly.
Once you do it, man,
there's no going back.
There's no going back, right? It's hard. Like, I've seen it, I go back to Billy Wagner's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I remember when, they made him an 8th inning guy. And I'll never forget what he said. He's like, dude, the 9th inning's different.
Yeah.
The 9th inning's different. The way they approach you, every out, everything. So this is the last thing is, along with the closers, walking music. This is sorry. It's like it's my guilty pleasure of talking about walking music and everything else. What is yours, number one? And number two, did you pick it? And number three, whose do you like the best?
Okay. Mine is Song 2 by Blur.
Okay.
It's like a British rock band from the 90s. But I like it this year. They did, do the light show with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did you have any say in that at all? Or
Yeah. The light show, no.
Yeah.
I picked the song and they like sync it up.
Okay, cool.
Do whatever they do.
Is there a reason behind the song? You just like it? Just hits?
No, it's brings back some good memories of, me and my brothers used to go skiing a lot with my dad.
Okay.
And that was always on my ski playlist.
All right.
So it just, makes me feel good, gets me amped up. As far as other intros that I like, past players Enter Sandman, Hells Bells.
But I was talking about this, actually it was with Trent Thornton the other day. Because he comes into Lunatic Fringe, which is an old OG, Vision Quest. But, we talked about how, there's Enter Sandman, there's all that. They were like Timmy Trumpets were sort of got this conversation going, right? And now, now you look at what Toronto does with their guys, Romano, and they had Hoffman, now they show his eyeballs up close. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anyone you've noticed, if they even look at it, I don't know.
Yeah, I love the ones where the lights go out.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd's just like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
Maybe fans don't know, haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So when they just kill the lights, those ones are cool. And then the video boards light up and like Seattle, they do the sirens and stuff. So there's a lot of, they get really creative with it. It's really cool.
When the lights first started going out, people were legitimately like, is he gonna trip?
Yeah.
But I would imagine you would know better than I. You probably can see, right?
Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
Enough, yeah. You can see the next step.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.